Tesla has officially produced their 6 millionth vehicle. Congratulations to the entire team. Plenty of work still to do, but what an amazing accomplishment. To put this in perspective, it took Tesla 12 years to produce their 1 millionth vehicle, just 15 months to produce their 2nd millionth vehicle, 10 months to produce their 3rd million. And as I record this, Tesla's pumping out about 1 million vehicles every 6 months, which we kind of know. Tesla has told the public that they're aiming for 20 million vehicles per year at the end of this decade. Whether or not they'll get there on time will be a little bit late. Who knows? But all that requires now is roughly a 10 times increase in their rate of output. And in case you haven't heard, Full Self-Driving Beta is now officially Full Self-Driving Supervised. A sensible change in naming. Obviously, Tesla very close to having a production-ready, unsupervised version. Confident enough now that they're no longer calling it beta, but making it extremely clear, even to the people with very small brains, that you must supervise this software. Check out this email. Your Full Self-Driving Supervised trial starts now. You've been granted a 30-day complimentary trial of Full Self-Driving Supervised for your Model Y. Under your supervision, Full Self-Driving Supervised. Does anyone get the impression that Tesla's really wanting to emphasize to people that this shit needs to be supervised? Not that they didn't already emphasize, but now literally in the name. Why? Well, this is wide release now. Anyone in the United States who owns a Tesla with capable hardware can get a 1-month free trial. There's no possibility that anyone, even an absolute moron, can activate this trial without knowing that they need to supervise the software. Under your supervision, Full Self-Driving Supervised can drive your Tesla almost anywhere. It will make lane changes, select forks to follow your navigation route, navigate around other vehicles and objects, and make left and right turns. You and anyone you authorize must use additional caution and remain attentive. It does not make your vehicle autonomous. Do not become complacent. This is an extremely important milestone. A lot of people, I think, are misinterpreting this as Tesla trying to pump up earnings over a short period of time. Don't get me wrong, it won't hurt earnings. But this is really Tesla laying the foundation. They're now confident enough in this software, its capability, and its safety. They're allowing anyone in the United States, over 2 million Tesla customers in the US, to activate a 1-month trial of this software. But please tell me more about this quarter's gross automotive margins and production potentially being flat for a few quarters. And the Cybertruck, the world's first S-tier celebrity, continues to turn heads and garner attention. And all I can say is, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Shout out to Nate Diaz here, flexing in front of his new whip. If only we could have seen this coming and known that celebrities, athletes, actors, literally everybody would want a Cybertruck. Now, back to FSD. And remember, all this attention around Cybertruck, just as Tesla is offering a free 1-month trial of FSD, the amount of attention that Tesla's going to get, just think about the impact of somebody who already owns a Tesla getting their 1-month free trial of FSD, realizing how fucking incredible this stuff is, and ranting and raving about it to their friends and family, showing it off to their friends and family, their colleagues, co-workers, neighbors. Things are really building, folks. So, Musk posted this. Most people still have no idea how crushingly good Tesla FSD will get. And this is absolutely true, because if people did, just widely, I don't think Tesla's market cap would be a mere $500 billion as I record this. If you're confused as to why I would say that, I encourage you to check out my Tesla valuation model, available on Patreon to investor supporters and above. Click the link in the pinned comment. It will be superhuman to such a degree that it will seem strange in the future that humans drove cars, even while exhausted and drunk. This is, of course, very true. At some point, it will become illegal for humans to drive vehicles on public roads. I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow, but it will inevitably occur at some point in the future. Best I can tell, autonomous vehicles don't get distracted by tens, cop roadhead, drive drunk, depressed, upset, recklessly, to impress their teenage friends, don't have medical episodes, fall asleep at the wheel, experience road rage. I could keep going on. I think you get the point. Over 1 million people die every year, on average, in accidents, almost all caused by human error. We have multi-thousand-pound death machines on wheels, driven by creatures that have, in evolutionary timescales, recently descended from the trees. It will be wild looking back in the future. How many? 1 million plus people died per fucking year? What? How were people ever allowed to drive cars? But of course, right now, autonomous software isn't quite there. Cars will take you where you want automatically, just like getting in an elevator and pressing a button. Something that also used to be manual. But please tell me more about this quarter's gross automotive margin, because you don't have any idea how many times I say the same shit on purpose so I can dig it back up a few years from now with the assistance of AI going through my YouTube transcripts, my X transcripts and so on. Doing my best to scream from the rooftops, not just based on feelings. Again, you want to see my Tesla valuation model to understand why I continue to bang the drum on this stuff. Check it out, link in pinned comment. Musk too is doing his best to warn people. A lot of investors, however, seem far too focused on the extremely short term and also things that, in the scheme of things, don't really matter. Now, check this post out from David F on X. Just convinced my buddy with a Model Y to download the FSD free trial. He had no idea about it. He just took his first drive. It blew his mind. He called it, quote, an overall amazing and baller experience. New FSD customer. Here's the actual exchange. Thoughts on the first drive? Overly cautious on, turns into oncoming traffic, even if you have right away. If you give it a little gas, it will respond. However, overall, a pretty amazing and baller experience. I suspect this first wide release is intentionally a bit more cautious. The car slowed down, but did not stop for a pedestrian. It actually predicted she would, check this out, it actually predicted, sounds like intelligence to me. It actually predicted that she would cross before it was actually in the way of the vehicle. Crazy improvement. And the final reply here, and keep in mind, this is the first public release. The amount of train data they'll get will just feed the flywheel, or someone said flywheel, of improvement. This thing is hitting high gear on capability soon. And now let's focus over a micro penis length time horizon and talk about Tesla's Q1 earnings, which are, quote, set to be a bad one, apparently, which won't surprise me. The worse the better, I'm still buying with every spare cent.
Tesla taking a hit as Wall Street bulls turn cautious on the EV maker, sluggish expectations for Tesla's first quarter deliveries, and of course, increasing pricing competition weighing on that stock. Dan Ives, Wedbush Securities Managing Director, joining us now to discuss. Dan, great to see you, my friend.
Great to be here.
Great to have you on set. Let's just dig right into Tesla. Q1 deliveries on deck. What does Dan Ives expect?
I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. It's going to be a bad one,
Yeah.
and that's why
that sounds terrible.
Look, it was a brutal quarter.
Yeah.
Because if you look, China demand softened significantly. We really had to cut numbers, not just in China, but even in the US and Europe. And our whole point is, on the other side of this, the growth story is still there. But look, this is a fork in the road period for Musk to navigate. I mean, and it's going to be rip the Band-Aid off when they report Tuesday morning.
You said the other side. I think I heard you say 2.5 to 3 million deliveries, what you're looking at on the other side, right? I mean, what's going to be the catalyst, though? Because it doesn't feel like the price cuts, the pressure there is easing at any time. At the same time, when we talk about this next wave of EV adoption, it is about more affordable vehicles, which Tesla doesn't necessarily have.
Yeah, it's a game of...
I don't even know where to start here. You can buy a new Tesla in the United States today for less than the average new vehicle price in the United States today already. So the average consumer buying the average vehicle in the United States already can afford a Tesla. But average is very different to median and is also very different to all consumers. But we know that Tesla still has enormous pricing power. Others do not. Tesla's still making money selling electric vehicles. Most others are losing insane amounts of money. More importantly, however, there's this thing that Tesla talked about and explained called their next generation vehicle, aiming for $25,000. Obviously, that will be inflation adjusted. Assume a starting price, once ramped, closer to $30,000 in my opinion. Significantly more affordable than the 40-odd thousand for an entry-level Tesla 3/Y today. Tesla already told us they've practically finished the new production system designs for this next generation vehicle platform, which will first ramp in Austin and then in the Mexico factory. So we know it's coming. We also know today that, as I said, Tesla's vehicles in the United States as affordable or cheaper than the average new vehicle. If this question were being asked of Lucid or even Rivian, I'd be like, okay, fair point. But I'm not sure if she doesn't know about the next gen vehicle or it's just a talking point, but it's so bizarre. It's like, duh, that's why the next gen vehicle.
Thrones price war right now in China. And I look, as that plays out, Street understands that, but they have not communicated that well. So in other words, like, where's the line in the sand in terms of margins? Walk through how they're going to reverse the strategy.
Now, I don't want to be too hard on Dan here, but we do actually know the line in the sand in terms of margins, whatever the market clearing price. Remember when Musk said if they needed to, not that we will, but if we needed to, we would literally sell cars for a 0% margin? Remember when he said that? Probably not, otherwise he wouldn't have talked about a line in the sand. Bro, the line in the sand is we will sell them at whatever the market clearing price.
Strategy in China, because the opportunity is still there. In other words, like, we're still in the early innings of where this is all playing out, full self-driving, AI. But no doubt, I mean, these are some dark days ahead that Musk needs to navigate. And I think it's a defining chapter in the Tesla story. And that's why investors, patience is wearing thin. And
I always like to take a moment here just to look at these disclosure. Just for the record, Dan Ives' disclosures around Tesla stock. No investment relationship. He personally does not own any Tesla stock. None of his family owns Tesla stock, nor does his company. For what it's worth, not that you don't already know, my disclosures, individual owns, yes. Plenty. Family owns, yes. Moving on.
In the Tesla story, and that's why investors, patience is wearing thin, and this is just one where it's going to be a very, very difficult quarter.
So let me ask you, all right, I could put you in front of Elon Musk right now. What would you tell Musk? What would be the Dan Ives game plan to turn this around?
The correct answer to this question is, keep doing what you're doing, sir. I've got nothing useful to say. I don't have the track record at all. There's an unbridgeable intellectual gap, not because I'm a moron, but because you're an actual genius. So I've got nothing useful to say. Sorry.
Have an adult in the room on the conference call, give a communication strategy around guidance, margins, hold an AI day, give some strategic targets. And also a lot of the noise with Musk leaving is, his AI initiatives.
Basically saying, listen, I could take my AI and my robotics plays, I could take them elsewhere.
That's 70% of the value of Tesla is Musk. Okay, so Musk is Tesla, Tesla is Musk. Investors have a lot of patience, and we've been here before, 2018, 2019. This is nowhere near those, but this is a white knuckle period that they need to navigate. You compare that to what Cook will do on calls, Nadella, some of the other Hall of Famers. I'm not saying Musk is going to do that, but this is a quarter that's really going to shake some confidence. And I think that's the thing. We see it on the other side in terms of being bullish, but no doubt that's why we had to lower the price target.
So apparently Dan really wants clear guidance around volumes and margins. I guess that would save a lot of thinking. Picture this. Imagine Dan hunched over with a magnifying glass looking at a little ant. That ant is margins and guidance over the short term. Oh, look at this ant, right? An FSD is a fucking truck coming at him 100 miles an hour. But Dan doesn't see the truck because I want guidance, margins. You know what happens here, right? Bam. Rest in peace, Dan. This is an analogy for many investors at the moment who are missing the forest for the trees, or in this case, missing the fucking truck bearing down on them because they're too busy looking at a tiny little speck over the short term. Zoom out, bro. Now, I get it that Dan's talking about on the other side of this, but he still seems intent on playing the Wall Street game. Tesla and Musk have been so clear about what's coming with FSD and the implications financially, but everyone wants to keep looking at the ant. You do you. And now more short-term discussion around the little ant. Tesla set up for pretty messy Q1, according to an analyst.
Pricing war is heating up. Chinese smartphone company Xiaomi is releasing an electric car that's $4,000 cheaper than Tesla's Model 3. While Tesla, a Wall Street darling, not so long ago, its fall from grace is continuing. RBC, Citi, Bernstein, and Oppenheimer all striking a cautious tone on the stock this week, and with the majority of the street now at a hold rating as one of the worst performers in the S&P 500 for the first quarter.
On screen now, the pussification of Wall Street analysts in a nutshell. 14 recommending investors sell Tesla stock in late March 2024 with a market cap around $500 billion, with Tesla on the cusp of autonomy. Slightly more with a buy rating at 19, and 27 of these large sausage wallets recommending investors hold. How's that saying go? You know, the Warren Buffett thing where he goes, be something when others are something. Oh, that's right. Be a gigantic pussy when others are being gigantic pussies. I think that's how it goes, isn't it? Now, why would the vast majority of these folks be recommending investors just hold or worse, sell Tesla stock? It's basically 69% of these analysts either hold or sell. Nice. I think that they too are busy, hunched over with a magnifying glass, looking at a little ant. What FSD? Oh, idiots. I do mean that, by the way. What are they thinking? Oh, wait, they're not. Less than 1/3 of the analysts covering Tesla stock, according to this data, recommending investors buy here. Less than 1/3.
How should you, the investor, be looking at Tesla? Here to break it all down, we want to bring in Colin Rush. He's Oppenheimer Managing Director and Senior Research Analyst here. Colin, it's good to see you. So just your reaction to, obviously, this downward move that we've seen in Tesla. Not exactly a massive surprise, given the trends that we had seen over the last several weeks. But how is Tesla set up now, not only in the current quarter, but looking ahead to the remainder of the year?
Yeah, so this first quarter is setting up to be pretty messy. I think everyone understands that there's seasonal weakness here in the first quarter. They've had some supply chain disruptions, in the European supply chain with the Red Sea. They also had this fire in Germany, that shut down the factory for a little bit, and the announcement that they're kind of trimming some of the production in China. And so I don't think anyone has any big expectations for production here. But what is at stake, I think, is where the margins shake out for the quarter and how that sets up for the balance of the year. And so as we're looking at this, we just trimmed numbers on the first quarter, just out of a bit of caution. But we're also seeing them recognize a certain amount of deferred revenue with the release of the version 12.3 on the FSD. We think they're going to recognize a reasonable amount of revenue there to support the margins.
This is very likely. Exactly how much deferred revenue we don't know, but for those who don't know, hence the name deferred revenue, much of the revenue from FSD isn't counted in the quarter that the FSD is sold, but instead put to the side for later as new milestones in terms of FSD progress occur, such as FSD v12.3 going out, the 1 month trial, and so on. So this is a big trick Tesla has up their sleeve to the tune of many billions of dollars.
And so, net where we're at is we think there's a bit of a better than feared trade setting up here on the quarter, provided that the margins hold up as we get into the balance of the year. I mean, the bigger question really is, where are the normalized margins going forward?
Right. And so with that in mind, it all comes back to some of these pricing dynamics and how that correlates within the mechanisms that Tesla is actually able to demand or generate demand here at this point too. As you think about some of the other adjustments that they're going to need to make, are they going to need to make other production adjustments given the demand environment here too?
I mean, one of the things that this company has been really great at is making ongoing, cost optimization choices, and so they've continued to drive cost out of the vehicles on an ongoing basis over a number of years, and so we think they continue to do that. They've got some benefits from materials on the lithium side that are still yet to fully roll through. We think they're continuing to beat up their suppliers on components, and then they continue to be in the Western world still the largest the EV OEM. The question for me right now around where they're selling is how much they're going to sell into the Chinese market, where there is this very aggressive price war, and how much they're going to start shipping a number of those vehicles into other countries in Asia and a number of the underserved countries that they really have not been selling into, but do have a sales footprint in.
So I think the key takeaways from today's video is that you should definitely, absolutely focus on nothing but the extremely short term for Tesla. That will end well. Plus, Tesla is just a car company, so obviously FSD isn't real. In fact, the FSD trial throughout the United States, just a big elaborate scam. It's a fraud. It doesn't even exist. It's imaginary. All the videos you see of people using this software, AI generated, obviously. And plus, even if it was real, Cruise and Waymo are way ahead of Tesla on autonomy anyway. And even if that wasn't true, it's not like autonomy is a $10-trillion opportunity anyway. So you should definitely ignore that and just focus on volumes and short-term margins. Oh, and also don't forget to panic when others are panicking. I think that's the key takeaways. Over and out. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar, You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.